Hello and happy Sunday. This is Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, and today is Sunday, June the 25th. Happy Sunday, everybody. We finally had some fantastic weather here in East Tennessee with intermittent storms, but it's summer. It is officially summertime now. But hello and happy Sunday, everybody. If you are brand new, please let us know because we would love to welcome you. Also, if you are watching this later on YouTube, that's just youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We would love to welcome you. But hello, everybody. So hopefully you all are having a fantastic week, and hopefully, fingers crossed, yay! Hattie's the first one to comment, so yay. Facebook is working on comments. Hello, Hattie. I hope you are having a great day so far. Happy evening to you, too. Good evening to you. Hello, Carol Lou. It's good to see you. I've got a little bit of news for you all that's it's gonna shock some of you, but it's not gonna shock some of you because I don't know. I don't know. I'm such a joiner. It takes me a little while to join, but I'm such a joiner. And hello, Mary from Pittsburgh. Good to see you. And everybody who came to Gwen's Thursday night chat, hello. It was good to see all of you all. But again, today is June the 25th. This is chat number 323, and it is titled Enlist Your Civilian Team. We'll talk about that more here in just a few minutes. Hello, Trish from California. It is good to see you. Hello, Sandra from Demons Ferry. You all are, hello Anna, it's so good to see you. So you all are in for a little bit of a treat in the second half tonight. I have another taste test lined up here behind us, and hopefully I didn't stay out from in front of it so long that you figured out what it is. But hello Katie, happy Sunday to you too. It's good to see everybody. I guess you all know that in 2 weeks, in like a week and a half, whatever, it will be July the 4th. So we're going to have to talk about that next Sunday. Hello, Marianne from Pennsylvania, and hello, Annette. It is good to see you. But again, if you're brand new, let us know. We would love to welcome you. Also, thank you all very much. But continuing thank yous for the stars. And you can start giving us stars now on our Facebook videos and on our Facebook posts. And I don't know why I always say our, because it's just me. Jessica and Casey, who helped me. Jessica's on maternity leave, and Casey's not here with us on the live chats. But anyway, you can give us stars on the live chats and also later on the videos and on the posts, and that just gives us a little bit of money, you know, to put towards the things that we spend money on, like everything back here that we're going to talk about in the second half. Let's see. Hello, Lisa from Arkansas. Good evening, Elaine. And hello, Christy. So good to see you. So again, happy Sunday, everybody. I'm Kelly. This is If You Have an Egg. If you need to go find any of these chats later, this is chat number 323. That means there are 322 other chats, plus however many instructional videos we have, and some just good little bits of information that you can find those over on YouTube. That's just youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg, or you can go to www.ifyouhaveanegg.com and you can download all of these. You can print them out if you'd rather print them out. You can do that as well. And hello, Lynn. Good to see you. Also, a little bit of news that I didn't plan on putting in the news. Fingers crossed, it looks like maybe a week from tonight, maybe might be back in our new showroom space. I'm saying back like we've been there before, but we will be hopefully be in our new showroom space. That means I will be out of this little teeny tiny section, and one of the little bits of news that I have for you will be I'll be so excited when we get into our new space because we'll be able to do this. Okay, so today is June the 25th. This is Sunday. If you're here with us live, you can shout out. I can see it. Let's see. Oh, okay, the Marys are talking to each other. We've got two Marys from Pittsburgh here. But if you are here with us live, you can just shout out. I can see it. We can see it. And hello, Sherry. It's good to see you. How are you doing? How are you feeling? If you're watching this later, you can just comment, and I promise I will see it and I will comment back. But tonight is June the 25th. A little bit of news for June. I guess this will be the last bit of news for June. The first bit of news that I have is Instant Brands, and those are the makers of the Instant Pot, Corelle, Corningware, and a host of other products. It used to be called Corelle and Corelle Incorporated, I think. I just found out this week that they have filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and that was about 2 weeks ago that they filed that. But before you panic and think that your favorite multi-purpose cooking tool is on the brink of extinction, that does not look like that's what's going to happen. And good, Sherry, that does not look like that's going to happen. Chapter 11 is what's used commonly when companies need to they just need a chance to reorganize, you know, for lack of a better term, after usually some slow sales, a bad year, you know, just something didn't take off like it was supposed to, or probably in this case due to a pandemic, a global supply chain nightmare, aloha Kathy, and a trickle down effect of all of, of all of those, what those things do, the toll that they take on a business. So they plan to keep going, so be brave. Okay, next bit of news. I finally ordered an Instant Pot. So I know Popcorn Karen will be tickled to death to find that out. And hello, Vicky. I know she'll be tickled to death to find that out. And we've got a couple of other egglets that will be super excited to know that I finally, and hello, Marlene from Florida, I finally have ordered an Instant Pot. I don't know what's taken me so long. I don't know. I have so many other appliances. I own 4 air fryers, okay? Technically 5 if you count the one that's over at Casey's house. But I own so many air fryers, so many other appliances, but I went ahead and broke down and ordered an Instant Pot. You'll learn more about why I finally made the decision to do that as we get into the new showroom. I promise I will make it'll all be clear once we get moved into the new showroom. So that's a little bit of news. And then also, if you happen to be a Knoxville Weight Watcher, or if you're in the Knoxville area, I need to remind you that there are no Tuesday meetings on July 4th at any location. Also, this coming Tuesday, which is June the 27th, there will be, and that also counts for, hello, Mary Ann from, Mary Ann, sorry, everybody from Pennsylvania that's here. That's so funny. How many of you all are here from Pennsylvania? There's like a little gaggle of you all talking. But everyone, there will be no in-person workshops, and I don't think there are any virtual workshops on July the 4th, but, and hello, Sandra from Naperville, but in-person people in Knoxville, no meetings on Tuesday, July the 4th, and if you go to the Beaver Creek Cumberland Presbyterian, Beaver Creek Cumberland Presbyterian Church, if you go to that meeting on Tuesdays, also, there is no evening meeting this coming Tuesday, which is the 27th. There will be the normal morning meeting will start, and Gwen says she will come in extra early. So I think she's planning on coming in at like 8 o'clock Tuesday morning, the 27th, at the Beaver Creek Cumberland Presbyterian Church location only. She's planning on coming in early just because she's anticipating an extra big crowd Tuesday morning, since there will be no Tuesday evening meeting. But Knoxville girls, Knoxville and surrounding area girls, just another reminder that this Tuesday, June the 27th, there will be no in-person evening meeting at Beaver Creek Cumberland Presbyterian Church because of their vacation Bible school. So you can either go to the morning meeting at that same location, and Gwen, hello Orlando Debbie, and Gwen will get it started at 8. We'll still start weigh-ins at 8, and then I think the meeting itself doesn't actually start until 9. Or you can go to the Monday evening meeting that is at Central Baptist Fountain City. So that was just a little side note for the Knoxville people that are listening. Okay, so hello and happy Sunday again, everyone who has popped in here late. Don't forget about the stars. Appreciate it. I've been spending a lot of money here lately getting things to, I don't know, kind of now that we're moving into our new showroom, to kind of get some excitement, going for the rest of this year, moving into our new space. And next week again should be when we move in. But so I so appreciate, if y'all would send in these stars. You can do that here on Facebook. That would just help out a little bit. It helps to, offset some of these expenses. And last week we were talking about eating out and staying on track. So I need to know who attended an in-person workshop last week. So we've been talking about not letting these routine disruptions disrupt our routines this summer. So going to an in-person workshop or attending a Zoom workshop last week, that is a routine saver. So let me see some thumbs ups. If you went to an in-person workshop last week, sat your bottom in a chair, or if you did a Zoom meeting last week, yep, and Lynn is thumbs ups and hearts, and I'll explain the hearts in a second. So thumbs ups for that. And give me some hearts if you're here with us live. Let's see some hearts for attending here with us live last week. So Mary was thumbs up. She sat her bottom in a chair. Lynn sat her bottom in a chair, or went to a Zoom. And I happen to know that Lynn did a Zoom workshop last week because she was at the same one, and Mary was also the same one that I was at on Thursday night with Gwen. And Mary Ann had her bottom in a green chair. Very good. Sandra's all thumbs ups and hearts. Thumbs ups and hearts. Yep. Good job, everybody. And Sherry is a heart. She was here with us. And Kathy's thumbs ups. So bravo stickers for everyone who attended an in-person workshop or did a virtual workshop or attended it here with us live last week or watched later on demand. And Vicki needed some encouragement to be focused. Yeah. Or needs some encouragement to be focused. It's hard during the summer. I know it. And doing something like this, just spending an hour here with us, every week, that's something that can help ground you, and keep you motivated through the summer. So again, bravo stickers to everybody who did that last week. Good job, everybody. So last week, again, was chat number 322, and we were talking about eating out, but being able to stay on track. And I asked you to look at your family. If you looked at your family and said, hey, let's eat out tonight, you know, what would be the first thing that would pop in your mind? Most of you said eating out or going somewhere to eat. A couple of you all did say eating away from home. So the technical definition of eating out just means when you're not eating at home. And we're thankful for you too, Vicki. But it just means eating away from home. So if home is kind of your ground base, if this is your, you know, if this is your place where you make most of your food, where you're prepping most of your food, tracking most of your food, you know, if this is kind of your, like a ground zero, kind of your central, you know, place, then eating out just means eating anywhere away from, Teresa's here, and she's just thinking about joining again to see what Weight Watchers has done in the last few years. So Teresa, hello. First of all, welcome. It has been really interesting the last few years. Right now, we're on a program called just called the Weight Watchers program, and it's just a super easy, simple to follow program. We're all on the same points. If you want to see what that's all about, we do have another video over on YouTube. That's just youtube.com, and then search If You Have an Egg. Or you can go to IfYouHaveAnEgg.com and just look for that Weight Watchers program video, and it'll explain everything of what we're doing right now. So last week when we were talking about eating out, you know, anything you do, anytime you eat away from home. So when I eat, if I eat at work, I'm eating out. If I eat, you're welcome, Teresa. If I'm eating out, I'm eating out. If I'm eating in my car, I'm eating out. So that just means that you're eating, you know, away from, if home is your home base, then you're just eating away from home. Sometimes it means eating at work or at school. Sometimes that means, you know, eating out with, you know, with family and friends. So we talked about some ways last week. We talked about some things that you could do to, you know, to kind of stay on track and to not let that be, you know, a routine buster. Because again, all this month we've been talking about routines and things that kind of mess up our routines, because summer's different. It's just a different pace. You're with different people, you know, and you're doing different things. One of the things we talked about was knowing before you go. That was one of the topics from last week, and you can go back to IfYouHaveAnEgg.com and print off what we talked about last week, or listen to it, you know, if you need to listen to it again, or for the first time. But one of the things we talked about was knowing before you go, and we did have somebody ask during our in-person meeting how you know. Oh, Debbie is she is canning frozen mixed vegetables in her Presto electric canner. Yeah, we're going to talk about that too, because I just ordered another one, and I ordered an Instant Pot, and I kind of went crazy, and I bought something else. So y'all keep sending money, because I spent a bunch on our and hello Sarah, and because I just spent a bunch this week on stuff for the chats. Okay, but we had somebody ask though about how do you know how to track if you go to a restaurant and it's not in the app. So I know what we told her, but I want you all to throw out some suggestions. So if you are going out to a restaurant, and if that particular restaurant is not in the app, which a lot of mom and pops are not every chain restaurant is in the app, what do you all do? I'll tell you what I do, but that was a question that came up from last week's chat. So what I do is I find, if I can, and Sandra had a great week. She lost 1.4 this week. Awesome. But what I do, if it's a restaurant that either is not a chain, or I can't find it in the app, or I just don't know, is I'll look up something it's exactly right. Orlando Debbie says, try to find something similar. So that's also what I do, is I try to find a restaurant. So let's say if it's, you know, Mexican, I might look up another Mexican restaurant, or I might look up something that's got those kind of ingredients or something. My personal opinion, okay, and Lynn, Marianne, they all said the same thing. My personal opinion, I pick, so let's say that it is, and Mary says break it down and then estimate the points. That's a great idea. So if I pick another restaurant or another, you know, something that's got a similar thing on their menu. So let's say, for example, like Karen had today, they went to a Mexican restaurant today that's totally 100% not on going to be on the app. And she had a spinach, cheese, and something else, quesadilla. So what I would do is find something similar at another restaurant on the app. Me personally, I always choose whatever is on the higher side of the points, like something within reason, but something on the higher side. And then, yeah, and Debbie says go in between the high and the low. So I tend to stay on the higher side of it. Gwen says she stays on the lower side of it. Debbie's saying go somewhere in between the high and the low. But anyway, I think all of those are great and fantastic ideas. But your homework for last week was a rear view rescue. And I wanted you to find one of these moments where, one of these moments where you've looked in your, kind of look in your rear view mirror and think, how could I have handled eating out, differently, or, or rescuing, my, kind of keeping my summer under control, or keeping that situation under control. So last week it was rear view rescue. That was your homework. And Chris at our in-person workshop, so she attends the Tuesday night workshop at Beaver Creek Cumberland Presbyterian Church. So Chris at our in-person workshop nailed it when she's really been struggling at work, and she has made a focused, concentrated effort to get this under control this year, okay? So she's really been struggling at work, so she gathered her work posse together, and she explained how hard it is for her when they all want to go out to eat every day, because she wants to, it's her posse, she spends a lot of time with them every day, and she wants to go with them. But this was so smart. She looked in her rearview mirror and thought, we just keep doing this over and over and over again, and I keep going, and I keep getting upset with myself or whatever, I'm looking in my rearview mirror, what can I do differently? So she gathered the posse together, and she said, look, this is hard for me. I can't just on a whim keep going out to these places. So being the work friends that they are, they made a plan, and they have chosen a selection of restaurants or like DoorDash or Uber Eats or something like that are more Weight Watchers friendly options for Chris. And one of those days, Chris made a lunch, like she made lunch for her, for her best work friend, and they shared it together. And her friend was like, "This is fantastic. This is so delicious." So I thought that was a great idea, Chris. Good job on that. Deanna, who almost always does her homework, cough everybody else, Deanna almost always does her homework, she had a plan last week, and she thought that one of her littles was going to come over, so she got some of their favorites, kind of had figured out the points, things like that, but then surprise, well, the little was coming over to swim, and so Deanna had it all planned out, she was ready to go, and then surprise, her son ended up over there too, and he wanted pizza. So apparently this happens a lot, but Chris is so organized. She's so organized all the rest of the time, and is such a fantastic meal prepper that when she realized, wait a minute, hold on. Okay, we had pizza. My schedule was disrupted. This is not what I planned, and we had pizza. Now she is using this experience to get right back on track, and even starting that next day, she was prepping like crazy. And if you're not in the If You Have an Egg Facebook group, you need to scoot over there and join and check out Deanna's post, because she prepped some amazingly fantastic looking things this week to get right back on track. And then Margaret reminded us that sometimes we have to look in the mirror, in the rearview mirror, and just remember that we are all a work in progress, and we shouldn't give up, because if cauliflower can become pizza, we can do anything. Okay, so your homework was hilarious and fantastic this week. Congratulations to everybody. Here are your Bravo stickers to those of you who did your homework last week, but cough, Deanna does her homework almost every single week, so no guilt, everybody. Okay, this week we are talking about enlisting your civilian team. And if you haven't heard me mention civilians before, the term civilian is usually used as a descriptor for a person who is not currently enlisted or actively serving in like military, law enforcement, naval, some kind of emergency service capacity. Today, though, I'm using that in terms of anyone who is not currently enlisted or actively participating in the Weight Watchers program. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about a civilian. So civilians, you're surrounded by them. I am too. Family, it might be a family member, it might be coworkers, it might be the server at your restaurant, even strangers at a campsite or a cookout, or an office party. Those are, you could be surrounded by civilians every single day. So if someone that you are eating with or you're eating around, if they're not following the Weight Watchers program, they are civilians. Okay, so those are the people that I'm talking about today. If you are in a civilian situation with a firefighter, so let's say if you're a civilian and you're in a situation with a firefighter, and they're trying to get a family out, to safety, you would never, ever, never do anything to hinder their success or to get in their way, right? Like, we wouldn't question it. The firefighter doesn't have to tell you, hey, don't run into that burning building. Hey, don't turn off my water. Or, hey, you know what? Don't hop in the ladder truck and drive off, no matter how tempting that is. You know, they just wouldn't have to explain that to you. You, even as a civilian, you understand how important it is to just stay back, stay out of the way, wish them the best of luck, encourage them, you know, cheer when they, you know, when they're done. But you understand as a civilian how important that is to stay out of their way, or to be supportive, you know, or to, you know, direct traffic, do something to help them to be able to, you know, to succeed. Along those same lines, your family, co-workers, even complete strangers would likely not intentionally get in your way to reaching your health and weight goals, but they might inadvertently be running into your burning building with you hot on their heels unless you tell them how to help. So that's why I call them civilians, because they just don't understand. You know, maybe they've never had a weight loss problem, maybe they've never done Weight Watchers. They just don't, you know, regular civilians just don't get it. We got to help them get it, okay? So the first thing I'm going to say to you is civilians don't like surprises, okay? As much as they want to help, no one likes that kind of surprise. Do yourself a favor and don't get to the Mexican restaurant. If you notice, this is like a 3-week trend on me talking about Mexican restaurants, because Lynn mentioned it 3 weeks ago and I'm still talking about it. But do yourself a favor and don't go to the Mexican restaurant with your coworkers, with your other civilians, and get there and then pout because there's nothing there that you can eat, okay? That's a surprise that they don't need. You know, you can't just say, yeah, sure, you know, I'll go along, and then get there and go, there's nothing here I can eat. Y'all are going to ruin my day. You know, that's not a surprise that your civilians need, okay? So first, do like Chris did. Gather your posse together. Get their input on how you can choose a place to eat before anyone gets in their car or before they've opened the DoorDash app or whatever. So do that before. Get your posse together before. Maybe you could make a fun map before you leave, you know, to go if you're going to be traveling. Maybe you can make a fun map to show where the rest stops are that have picnic tables. Wouldn't that be fun? That's also a good time. Stopping somewhere that has picnic tables, it's also a good time to get out and stretch your legs and maybe toss a ball, throw a frisbee, you know, walk the dog, you know, do something else that, you know, get you out and get you moving around a little bit while you've been driving. Or this one was a great idea. Somebody suggested this 2 weeks ago. How about giving your civilian a written list of foods to choose from if it's somebody that's prone to stopping and picking up food or getting something and surprising you? Give them a list of things that you would like to have. You'd be shocked at how many people would love to know. Maybe you wouldn't be shocked. How many people would love to know instead of already love to have a list of, oh, okay, if I'm stopping at Wendy's, Kelly's going to want a chili and she's going to want it with sour cream. Or if I'm stopping at Chick-fil-A, Kelly's going to want me to get her grilled nuggets in a fruit cup and maybe a diet lemonade. But to already have a list, instead of you going, I don't know, and then being disappointed when they come home with, you know, nachos or something because you didn't give them a list. Most people would be excited to have that list. Okay, my second thing is you don't like surprises. So as much as the civilians don't like surprises, you don't like surprises either. I love surprises when they're in the form of a gift, when they're in the form of, you know, guests coming that I haven't seen for a while. You know, I love those kind of surprises, but I certainly don't appreciate thinking one thing is happening when it comes to, you know, eating that day or what kind of activity I'm going to get that day, and then finding out that that's not at all what's happening, okay? So if this happens to you, try one of these things. Number one, quickly scan the app for, like we just talked about, quickly scan the app for a similar restaurant or a food that you can and pre-track as best as you can. Number two, during a cool and calm time, remember Alyssa's calm and quiet. During a calm and quiet moment later, so sometime later, when it's calm and quiet, have a little chat with your civilian to explain why that kind of threw you off your plan and ask for help for next time. So don't do it during the heat of the moment. Wait till it's calm. It's already happened. Wait till it's calm and quiet, and then review this with your civilian and decide now, right now, what you're going to do to get right back on track with, maybe it's your next meal or at least by the next day, what you're going to do to get right back on track. Okay, and the third thing is enlist your civilian through food. You heard me. As much as we talk about, as much time as we spend talking about not using food for anything other than fuel, like not using it as a reward, not using it as a bribe, not using it like that, I want you to enlist your civilian by using food. And what I mean by that is, like if you were at a cookout or if you were headed to a cookout, why not bring some fresh corn on the cob, maybe some peaches, watermelon, something that you can throw on the grill that's going to be delicious. Civilians are often shocked to learn how delicious fresh corn, peaches, or watermelon are on the grill. And you can nosh on it and it's 0 points, okay? And they're going to love it. I promise that they will love it. Maybe you could offer to bring a giant salad or a low point soup to share with like your coworkers. You've got a little family get together, book club, something like that. I haven't made or shared anything with my civilians yet that didn't get around of, oh my gosh, that's so good, I've got to have the recipe. They never know. They don't know that it is Weight Watchers food. And then the last thing is, how about planning a picnic? It is June. I know we're holding on to the last couple of days, but it's June. It's picnic season. You can turn almost any situation into a picnic. Maybe it's eating on the tailgate or the hatchback of your vehicle. Maybe it's sitting in your driveway. We do that sometimes over at Casey's. We'll just set up some soccer chairs or some lawn chairs in her driveway. And maybe it's heading outside at work. Maybe you've got a picnic table or something outside at work that you can use. Make a little picnic in your break room. Or you can bring a cooler or a basket to the zoo, the aquarium. We're taking one when we take the girls to go hiking next Tuesday on July 4th. Take something like that and make a picnic. So that's your homework for this week. Your homework is plan a picnic. PLANAPICNIC. Hashtag plan a picnic. And for your homework this week, I want you to find a reason to have a picnic. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be an event. Just find a reason to have a picnic. With your civilian, pick your favorite civilian and plan a way to have a picnic with them. You can use one of the ways I mentioned above. You can pop down the tailgate on your truck, have a little picnic. You can open the back of your minivan. Maybe have a spread, invite the grandkids to just, spread out. Thank you very much, Lynn, for sharing that. Invite the grandkids to spread out, maybe put out a blanket, do it under a tree, whatever. But I want you to hashtag plan a picnic, and come up with some way. You can use one of mine, or you can make up something of your own to have a picnic. How easy is this homework? Seriously. And you get bonus bravos if you include a picture of your civilians enjoying your picnic, okay? I know that you are going to, oh no, Sarah, what? You don't have to, okay, so find somebody. You don't have a Sunday school teacher, you don't have a neighbor, you don't have a dog walker, you don't have somebody else that you eat with sometimes that you could plan a picnic with, or go have a picnic at Panera, or have a picnic at I don't know, do something. We've got lots of places here that that have a little outside seating area, that you could just do, and it doesn't have to be outside, although my favorite picnics are outside. Okay, but anyway, so hashtag plan a picnic. Yeah, you'll figure it out, Sarah. So Sarah, I just realized what you could do. Do you have a buddy that you could FaceTime and have a picnic together? So maybe you could both go somewhere, go to a park or something. You could set up your phone, you could set up your food, and you and your buddy could do a little FaceTime and have a picnic doing that. Would that not be awesome? Okay, so hashtag plan a picnic. That is your homework for this week. Yeah. Ta-da! Problem solved. So that's your homework for this week, and it's so stinking easy. I want you to do it. Do it. I expect to see lots and lots and lots of pictures though, okay? I want to see lots of pictures with your homework this week, and this one's so easy, and I'm asking you to eat for your homework. So why wouldn't you all do it? Okay, this is the end of the first half of tonight's chat, and again, today is, what is today? June the 25th. And this is chat number 323. So everybody that is here with us live, we're going to take a quick break and get a drink of water. Thank you, Sandra. Sandra's always so ready to remind me, always available and ready to remind me that it is time to stop and drink some water. If you're watching this on YouTube, or if this is your first time with us, we stop at the 30-minute point because I've been talking quickly for 30 minutes. And Sarah, we're taste testing some things tonight. But we stop for just a minute to take a little breathing break, and also because this is the only time of the week that I know for sure that you all get a drink of water, I have been doing, though, because I've drank lots of water every day, so I have been doing some refrigerator teas. And I don't know if y'all noticed that I have moved it to the big jar. So everybody get a break, or take a break and get some water, and I'll tell you what this one is. Oh, I love my refrigerator tea. So my friend Karen went to see her daughter Molly in the UK a few weeks ago, and she brought me back this little gift box that we've been talking about. If anybody knows where to buy this in the US, please let me know. I would love. This is Bird and Blend Tea Company, and this is a little place down the street from where Molly lives in Bristol, UK. And this one is. It says Bird and Blend Tea Company, spreading happiness, reimagining tea. This one is called Moondrop Dreams, and I know that's backwards. Moondrop Dreams. You can smell. Oh my gosh, this is so good. So good. I could smell that one as soon as I opened it. It's so delicious. Okay, let me get my apron on. Not planning on making a mess because I've already kind of prepared for our taste test. But if you are new with us, or if you don't know, at the halfway mark, we get a drink, and then I put on the apron so that if you are watching this on YouTube, you know where to go if you just want to see the second half. These are all posted on YouTube, and again, that's youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg. Casey posts these as the entire hour first, and then she goes back and posts a second YouTube video that is just the second half. So if you just wanted to see what we were doing in the second half, because that's usually a recipe, a how-to, how to make something, how to fix something, how to whatever, or like tonight, a taste test. So if you just want to watch the second half, you can always find those because that's what I have on the apron. Wait, and Mary says, I've been doing the refrigerator tea with peach tea. Oh, that sounds so good, Mary. So good. That makes me want to take another sip of my Moondrop Dreams. Okay, so tonight, this is the second half of chat number 323, and we have been talking a lot already in June. Ooh, Orlando Debbie found birdandblend.us. Good to know. I'm going to highly recommend this to you all. It is so good. Let me show you real quick. I love the little bags that they come into. It's one of those little triangle mesh bags. So cute. Okay, and Debbie says that's the website to order it here in the US. Okay, so we've been talking about a lot already this summer about routine disruptions, you know, because summer's a time, lots of stuff's happening and also lots of stuff's not happening. It's just a weird, I don't know, it's just a weird time of year. Kids are out of school, grandkids are out of school. There are things to do outside. Life's just running at a different pace. There are extra hours in the day. Now, please understand, everyone still just gets 24 hours, but I don't know, when it's light earlier, you know, when the days are longer like this, I find myself, you know, getting up, wanting to eat, and there's more hours that it's light, but there's not more points in the day, you know? So one of the things that has been disrupting my schedule is I have certain snacks that I eat during the winter, and I've kind of gotten on this weird kick since it's been warm outside that I need to get off of, where I've wanted either super salty things or super sweet things. So my first question is, for this second half of tonight's chat, I need to know, raise your hand if salty is your thing. So if salty, just something salty, if that's your thing, raise your hand. Now I know, where are my sweet eaters? So I've got my salty eaters over here. My sweet eaters are over here. And then raise both hands if it has to have some crunch. So these are my salty people. These are my sweet people. Mary's both. Debbie says it depends on the day. Sarah's got her hands raised. Chrissy's got her hand raised. So salty people, sweet people. Sarah's both. And these are my, and Mary got it. So Mary, these are my has to have some crunch people. Okay, so I am in a has to be salty. Not salty necessarily, but savory, I guess. And Anna says both. Savory more than anything. And it has to have some crunch, okay? Or it could also be sweet. So I'm kind of in, I don't know, I'm just in that weird phase right now. So I bought something, and I'm going to show it to you all. I bought a silicone collapsible popcorn maker. So this is to make microwave popcorn, and I love popcorn. Absolutely love popcorn. And I was exceptionally excited when it became a 0-point food on Weight Watchers. What I don't love though is bulky air poppers that take up space on my counter. I have a lot of appliances, okay? I have 4 air fryers. I don't like appliances that are bulky and take up a lot of space on my counter, and in just anywhere in my kitchen. And honestly, I got rid of one because I kept forgetting that I even had it, okay? So enter the collapsible silicone microwave popper. Okay, and let's see, Sarah has the Weight Watchers silicone popper too. Awesome. Mary uses hers all the time. If this is your first time seeing these, I did put a link for the particular brand that I'm using. I put a link in the description for this video, and Casey will post that link when she processes this as a YouTube video later. But this one is a Salisbury. This is the Salisbury brand, and I just want to read you a couple of things off of their instructions. First thing is you put in a 1/4 cup of popcorn kernels and nothing else. You don't add water, you don't add oil, you don't spray it, spritz it, nothing. It's a 1/4 cup, and I'm going to show you how to use it here in just a second. The lid, okay, so this is collapsible. So this is collapsible silicone, okay, so it's going to go down that small. And, oh no, Sandra says her microwave always burns the middle. Sandra, I like popcorn enough, I'd think about getting a new microwave. This is the lid. The lid, you just loosely set it down on here, and I'll show you all when I put the kernels in there, but you definitely just, loosely put it on there. The first time you try it, wash it the first time and dry it out. I'm going to show you what to do for the first time. You do need to be careful because there will be some steam. One thing I like about the Salisbury is it does have these silicone handles on the side, so you're not going to be as likely to, burn yourself. But be careful when you take this top off. Debbie, thank you so much. Debbie just sent 99 stars. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And it's so cute. Can you all see that? Can you see how it's on the stars? Thank you. Thank you for helping pay for my air popper, Debbie. So let's see. Don't use anything sharp in here. Don't clean it with anything harsh. It's just so easy to use that really it's just, simple is better. Okay. You are going to have some unpopped kernels, just a few. It did not leave any, any bad ones in there. And, or not bad ones, but it didn't leave like a large amount of them in there. So you are going to have just a few. This is dishwasher safe, but I would only put it in the microwave. I would not put it anywhere else. So first things first, if it's collapsed, you want to uncollapse it. So raise it up like that. Then you're going to get your popcorn. And I got Pop Secret Jumbo Popping Corn is the kind that I've been using. And it's a 1/4 cup. No oil, no nothing else. So a 1/4 cup. Just dump it in the bottom. How easy is that? And this is 0 points. So far this is 0 points. Okay? And it just sits in the bottom like that. The lid, the first time you use it, you're going to think there's something wrong, because my first inclination was, oh my gosh, this lid is too small. It doesn't fit. It doesn't, like I was trying to make it fit, on the top. It doesn't go on the top. It slides down inside. So see how it's sitting down on that kind of ledge right there? Let's see, and Mary loves Pop Secret. Yep, oh, that's the brand I have. I just said that. I do too. And the jumbo popping corn has been popping up really nice and fluffy. So you just set this down in there on that, just let it just rest gently on that first ridge, and then we're going to take this, put it in the microwave. The first time you do it, if you have a popcorn setting on, okay, and Sarah, hold on. Yeah, that's what we're going to try. We're going to try some seasonings. The first time you do this, and it may be this way every time after that, the first time you do it though, if your microwave has a popcorn setting, just push that popcorn setting. And like our microwave, I just pushed popcorn and it sensed it, and so it knew. Somehow, how does it know that? Does it weigh it? I don't know. But somehow it knew that I had 2.5 to 3 ounces of popcorn. I didn't even know I had 2.5 to 3 ounces of popcorn. I just knew I had 1/4 cup of popcorn. But anyway, so it sensed that, and so now it is regulating the temperature to make it the correct temperature, and so that it doesn't scorch. And was it Sandra that the middle, I think was it Sandra that the middle of your popcorn is always burned? So here is one tip. I saved this so that I could tell you all this one tip. So if you are having a problem with it burning, they suggest that you put it on 7. If you don't have a popcorn setting, then they suggest that like you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 high. So they suggest that if you don't have that popcorn setting, that you put it on 7. You try it on the 7. And if all your kernels are not popping, maybe to try a little bit longer on the time. Oh no! Elaine said, make sure to put the top on. I forgot the first time I used mine and had to clean the microwave. I can totally see that. I can totally see that. Our microwave, though, let's see. Sarah says, I've tried in the Weight Watchers silicone popper, not much kernels either, and overflows. Got to watch it. Oh, yeah. So this one, and I'll show you when it gets done popping, but this one with 1/4 cup, just 1/4 cup of kernels, it seems to be the perfect amount. And again, this is the Pop Secret Jumbo Popping Corn. Okay, so that's going to keep popping, but we're going to do a taste test. So I talked about, said, who are my salty people, who are my sweet people, and who are my people that it has to be a crunch. You're not going to be satisfied unless it's a crunch. Okay, we're going to try out some things to try and satisfy all of our, needs with some savory, salty. They're not salty, but some savory, some sweet, and all of them crunchy. Okay, so first thing, I have this little assortment here of popcorn that I popped earlier in the silicone microwave popper, the Salby. And again, I posted the link to where to find that in the notes and in the description of this video, and Casey will post that later on YouTube. But we have, I think it was 11. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 different ways to try it. 9 of the 11 ways are still 0 points. So if you are doing the popcorn, if you're air popping your popcorn, this is still considered air popping because there's nothing on it. We haven't put anything on it. It is still 0 points for the popcorn. If you spritz it with a little bit of nonstick spray, and that's the only way that you're going to get these seasonings to stick to it, but if you spritz it with a little bit of nonstick spray, that is still 0 points. So I'm looking for a 0 or only 1 point solution to my need for salty today, or sweet tomorrow, or crunch always. Okay, so to be very careful when you take it out. And again, I love these little dog ears on here because these little handles, just warm. They're just warm. They're not hot. And then the Salby has the lid for it, has this little, can you see that little teeny handle I'm pulling on? Pull that off, good and steamy, and look, it's that amount of popcorn. So yummy. Okay, so now that we have microwaved some 0 point popcorn, now let's try it with some of these seasonings. Okay, and I left us about 15 minutes so we can try 1 per minute. Okay, and then I haven't tried some of these, so we're gonna have a vote when we get done just to see. The first one I'm gonna try, I have tried before, but just because you all will ask, nutritional yeast. If you have not tried nutritional yeast on popcorn, you are missing out. So nutritional yeast, I would use a teaspoon per serving of popcorn. 1 teaspoon of nutritional yeast per serving of popcorn would still be 0 points. So let's try that one, even though I already know how it tastes. Delicious as always. The next one is Colonel Seasonings Nacho Cheddar. I've never had this one. 1 teaspoon of Colonel Seasonings Nacho Cheddar per serving of air popped popcorn is still 0 points. So let's see how this one is. It tastes like nacho cheddar. That's really good. Oh, I like that one. I like that one. The next one is still Colonel Seasonings. I got a bunch of those. Still, and I will say, I will post this link later. This was such a fun way to try these. I don't know if you can see how small these are, but there were several different flavors of Colonel Seasonings that I wanted to try, but I didn't want to spend a lot of money on it until I knew which ones I liked. These are, I cannot tell you what size they are because I cannot see that, but they're little, and there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There were 8 of them in the order, the little ones, so that I could try them. So this one is the butter flavor. I've never had this one before, so let's try it. Tastes like buttered popcorn. So that's the Colonel Seasonings butter flavored, and it tastes like buttered popcorn. Then we have, ooh, I'm anxious to try this one. Okay, I have no idea how this is going to taste. This is Colonel Seasonings. Again, all of the Colonel Seasonings, 1 serving of popcorn, 1 serving of air pop popcorn, or like we did in the microwave, with 1 teaspoon is still going to be 0 points. 0. Z-E-R-O. 0. Okay, this one is bacon cheddar. That sounds interesting. Oh, wow, wow. Wow, that's very savory. It's a very smoky flavor. Oh gosh, yeah. If you're looking for kind of a savory, smoky flavor, bacon cheddar, yeah, I like that. So far I've liked all of them, but I really like that one. Okay, still Colonel Seasonings. This one is ranch. And I don't know if you noticed, but I'm going through all the savory ones first. But this is ranch, still 0 points per serving. Oh. Oh. Now that is that's a nice ranch flavor. Oh, I do like that one a lot. Okay, let me kind of cleanse my palate a little bit. Gosh, yeah, I like that ranch a lot. Okay, we have bacon cheddar. So we've had bacon cheddar and we had nacho cheddar. This one is white cheddar. Pretty good. Pretty good. Not quite as much flavor as the bacon cheddar or the ranch. And yes, I own enough little silicone cups that I could put all of these in their own little individual silicone cups. Okay, the next savory one is cheesy jalapeno. Yeah, Sarah, you can get them on Amazon, and I'll post the link to this specific one. So just at some point after the chat, come back on Facebook and look at this, and I'll post it as a separate post. But I like this one. Again, I'm going to suggest you try them like this because you get all of those flavors in these little bitty, although this is quite a bit. I mean, just use a sprinkle. But all of these, you can get all of these together and try them and see which ones you like. So without investing, in a big container of it. This one's cheesy jalapeno. That's a pretty good, yeah, that's a pretty good flavor. It's got a little jalapeno kick at the end. Right there at the end had a little jalapeno kick. Okay, and now we're down to the sweets. Okay, so that was all of the savory ones. So the savory ones were nutritional yeast, which I already knew I liked. How many of you use nutritional yeast on your, just out of curiosity, how many of you already use nutritional yeast on your popcorn? Show of hands. This is also good for you. So nutritional yeast is a nice savory flavor, but it is also good for you. Nutritional yeast, now a serving is 2 tablespoons, and you will not be putting, well, you could, but I don't think you're going to be putting 2 tablespoons on your serving of popcorn. But if you did, yeah. Sarah says thank you. Sandra uses it. Lynn's never tried it. You've got to, Lynn. It's fantastic. Carol Lou loves it. Just be careful if you're sensitive to niacin, because I know Popcorn Karen She cannot eat nutritional yeast because she's sensitive to niacin, and my friend Molly, who sent the tea, she's sensitive to niacin too. So nutritional yeast is fantastic on everything. That man's chicken. There are so many things that I put this on, but it's also good for you. It also has protein. It's got a tiny bit of fiber. It's really low in sodium. It's got potassium, B1, riboflavin, niacin. The niacin's the part that gets people that are niacin sensitive. But that's kind of rare. It does have B6. It's got folate and vitamin B12. So that one's always a great addition. But these, really quickly, these other savory flavors were nacho cheddar, butter, bacon cheddar, ranch, white cheddar, and cheesy jalapeno. And I'm going to say yes, there is a chat for that. So Carol Lee says there's a chat for that. There is a chat for that on how to use nutritional yeast and why I use nutritional yeast. And Vicki says use nutritional yeast in the morning shake with Greek yogurt. That sounds good. So I'm going to say of these, of course, y'all know I love the nutritional yeast one, but I'm going to say nutritional yeast and then maybe add 2 of these. If I had to pick 2 of these savory ones to be my favorites, I am going to have to say, bacon cheddar and ranch. Those were both really, really good. So I'm going to highly recommend those 2. But I do recommend getting this nice little assortment. And again, I'll post it as a separate post with the link to where you can get them so that you can try 8 different flavors without a big investment. Okay, now for the sweets. This one is kettle corn. I don't know how many of you all like kettle corn popcorn. And again, I've not tried this. I haven't had this. I don't know what it tastes like, but let's see what the kettle corn one tastes like. Kettle corn. It tastes like kettle corn. This one is caramel corn. I'll be very excited to see if it actually tastes like caramel corn, because I can eat me some caramel corn. I can eat my weight in caramel corn. That one I might be tempted to put a little extra on there. It needs a little, I don't know, maybe it's because it's a sweeter flavor. It's just not quite as strong as the others. So maybe add just a little bit extra of that one. And then these last 2 are they are not kernel seasonings. This one we had today. So we took Alyssa to a play at the Children's Theater today, and I made this and packed it as our snack, and she thoroughly enjoyed it. This one is Snickers. So for my Snickers lovers, this is Snickers Shakers Seasoning Blend. I also got this on Amazon, and I'll provide the link for that. 1 teaspoon of this is 1 point, but a teaspoon is quite a bit. So that was quite a bit. Remember, you're going to spritz your popcorn. You're going to make your popcorn in an air popper, or you can make it in something like this. In the microwave, it's going to be 0 points. All of these kernel seasonings are still 0 points for a teaspoon. The Snickers, though, the Snickers seasoning is 1 teaspoon is 1 point. But still 1 point, okay? And I have had this before, but because I'm a team player, and I'm going to take one for the team. I'm going to go ahead and try it again. You can kind of feel the Snickers before you ever put it in your mouth. When John tried this, he said it was really good, but that it would be even better. It would be even better if you chopped up some almonds and put them in there. And I was like, well, yeah, of course that would be better. But the Snickers with almonds, yeah, that was John's thought on that. This one I have not tasted. This one is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So where are my sweet people over here? Snickers. We've got Snickers. We have kettle corn, caramel corn, and Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Ooh, hold on. Debbie says Flavor God seasonings are great on popcorn. That sounds good too. So this one is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. This one is also 1 point per teaspoon. I've not tried this one, but it's called Cinnadust. And I will post these later, and when we get done, I'll post where to get them. That literally tastes like cinnamon toast crunch cereal. That's what it tastes like. And Sarah says, this is excellent tonight. Thank you. You are most welcome. Okay. I think I've narrowed it down on the sweet ones, but I'm going to try, because we have just a couple more minutes, I'm going to put just a little more seasoning, a little more of the caramel corn on here, because I just don't feel like I got enough flavor on there. But again, microwave popcorn in a silicone popper, 0 points, or an air popper, spritz with a little bit of your favorite spray, then add these seasonings. If you don't spritz it, they're not going to stick. It's still okay. Okay, I'm going to say my favorites. My favorites in the savory, nutritional yeast hands down, but I think nutritional yeast with the bacon cheddar or the ranch. These two were my favorite in the savory. In the sweet, hands down, it's going to be the Snickers. The Snickers was the best one. The kettle corn kind of tasted like kettle corn. I think I'd have to put maybe too much seasoning on it for it to taste a lot like kettle corn. The caramel corn, just kind of lackluster. Just didn't have a lot of flavor to it. The Cinnamon Toast Crunch definitely tastes exactly like Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal, which I'm not a huge fan of, but that is good, and I promise you, Alyssa and Bo are going to love this one. And it's going to be on delicious, nutritious microwave popcorn, 0 points, no added oils, no fat added to this at all, lightly spritzed, and then your favorite seasoning. I will post later where to get these. The link for the collapsible silicone microwave popper is already in this description, and Casey will post it on YouTube when she gets those posted, and it'll be on If You Have an Egg. As soon as we get off here, I will post the link on where to get this little sample size thing of kernel seasonings, popcorn seasonings, where to get the Snickers, and where to get the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. If you all have any favorites, let us know. We'd love to know what your favorites are. Again, I'm going to say the bacon cheddar and the ranch were my favorites in savory, and the Snickers was my favorite in the sweet. But you all have a great week. I hope you will go ahead and watch this later. Thank you, Mary. I hope you will watch this later on YouTube. It's just youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg. If you are watching it there, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Thank you, Carol. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. I would love to have some new subscribers. Please, please, pretty please. Go ahead and click that, and then let that next video roll over. I promise that you will enjoy it. Yeah. So thank you all. Hope I'll see you again next week. And I really do want you to tell me which of these you like when you go and find them. But you all have a fantastic week. I'm going to let John come back inside and taste test all of these, and then we're going to be eating popcorn for days, because this is my third thing of popcorn that I've made to get ready for this chat. So thank you all very much. Thank you again, Orlando Debbie, for the stars that you sent tonight. Remember, everybody else can send stars later. You can continue to do that after the chats are posted. You can go ahead and add those, and you can add them to our posts. But thank you, everybody. Y'all have a great week, and I'm going to go enjoy all of this popcorn, and I will see you next time. Good night.